Good morning, guys. We're going to go ahead and move forward into our lesson. We're moving on to geometry, which is Unit 4. But before we get into Unit 4, I wanted to go back and do a prerequisite unit that is a 7th grade standard. So we have the same procedure that we do in regular class. So we start off with the instruction, and then I have the practice to go right along with it. Okay, so we're not doing think, share, compare like we do in class. I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through the instruction here. If you take a look at this page here, page number 178 in your Google Classroom, you'll see this assignment. Okay, so a few things. It says in previous grades you learned about lines and angles. Take a look at this problem. 3 lines. AD, this is AD, this is the first line here. BE, which is this line right here, okay, and CF, which is this line right here, intersects, that means they all cross at point O. Here's point O, the origin, as shown in the diagram. AD, this is AD here, is perpendicular. That means it makes a 90 degrees, that box represents that 90 degrees, is perpendicular to FC. So that means they make 90 degrees in all 4 quadrants here, just like a coordinate plane. Angle, this figure right here, it represents the angle. Angle EOD measures 32 degrees. So here's angle EOD, it measures 32 degrees. What is the angle, the measure, I'm sorry, of angle AOB? So what is the measure of angle A, O, and B here? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the first question. It says, what is the measure of angle FOD? So here's F, O, and D. Okay, and from the question it says that when these lines intersect here, AD and FC, they were perpendicular to each other. That means they made 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. That is also 90 degrees. Okay. So it says, what is the measure of angle FOD? FOD here is also 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and write that in. And my stylus is really big and giant, so it's really hard to write it small on here. So it's 90 degrees. Best that I can do, okay, is 90 degrees. Okay, the next part, it says, name 2 adjacent angles that together form FOD. So here's FOD. Which 2 angles? Adjacent means that it's right next to each other. It shares a side. That's what the word adjacent means. So the 2 angles that make FOD is FOE. So FOE. And like I said, my stylus is very big, so it's hard to write. And then this one here, the next one is EOD. So again, angle EOD. And I can't write off of the thing, so I have to erase that. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Whoops. Try to erase this. Okay, so angle EOD. EOD. All right, so those 2, yeah, that's the sloppiest work ever, right? Don't write like that on your paper. But angle EOD and FOE, so EOD and FOE here makes that 90 degrees, okay? The next question that they say, let me go ahead and erase this whole thing because I can't really see what's going on. It says, name 2 adjacent angles that together form FOD. We just found that. And what is the sum of their measure? The sum of their measure, again, is when we add them together, we already know that it's 90 degrees. So that was the second question there is 90 degrees. So that was 90 degrees again. Okay. Question number C, letter C. What is the measure of FOE? So FOE, that angle here. I know that the combination of FOE and EOD is 90 degrees. I also know that EOD is 32 degrees. So in order to find the measure of FOE, I have to subtract 90 degrees minus 32 degrees. Okay, and if you subtract it, or pull out your handy dandy calculator for those of you guys who has one at home, because I don't know what you guys have at home that you guys are cheating with your calculator, but go ahead and subtract them. When you subtract it, you're going to get 90 degrees minus 32, and I'm going to do my work right here. Okay, and you subtract that together here. That's going to give you 10. This is a 2 that looks like a 1 here. Boy, I am terrible with this thing. Okay, so that's going to give you 58. So we know that when you subtract 90 and 32, your answer, the measure of FOE here, is going to be 58 degrees. Whoopsies. There you go, 58 degrees. Ooh, I got to work on that. And here's an 8. Yeah, we got to work on that a little bit. There you go. Okay. The next question, it says together, FOE, here's FOE and FOA, right there, okay, and AOB form a line or a straight angle. That means 180 degrees. Let me go ahead and quickly just erase this. Explain how you can find the measure of AOB. Okay, so you see this line right here, this line EB or BE here, that makes a straight line. Okay, so these three angles here, when you add it up, it's going to equal a straight line. And some of you guys already have an idea where I'm going with this. We know that this here, FOE, we just found that out. It was 58 degrees. Oh, and we're trying to do that 8 again. Oh, that's much better. Okay, this guy right here is 58. This guy is not 50, I'm sorry. This guy is 90. We know by that box there, that perpendicular box. What is that going to be? Okay, explain how you can find the measure of angle AOB. Okay, and so from previous grades and so on, you make a straight line. Whenever you make a straight line here, okay, the measure of an angle, a straight angle, we call that a straight angle, is 180 degrees or 180 degrees. Okay, so your handy dandy calculator again, if you have that, or you're writing on a separate scratch paper, and I'm cheating, I'm using a calculator, guys, just so you know. So you're going to go ahead and add them up, 90 plus 58. That gives you a total of 148. Okay, so 148 here when you add these two up. Okay, and it needs to total 180 degrees. Okay, so 180 degrees makes a straight line. So you're going to take that 148. I'm going to go ahead and write that on the side so you guys can see this number, 148. Okay, so 148 degrees, and I'm going to take that and subtract it from 180. 180 gives me my straight line. Okay, so 180 minus 148 is 32 degrees. So that spot right here is 32 degrees. And there's actually another rule that you can, that if you know already, and those of you who have my intervention class, you already know this already as well, to find out what that angle is going to be as well. If you know that vertical angles, these are vertical angles, we see them across from each other, they are equal as well. So 32 degrees for this angle, 90 degrees for this angle, 58 degrees for that angle. That gives us a total of 180 degrees for any straight angle. So it says, together they form a straight line. Explain how you can find the measure of angle AOB. We added the angle for 58, 90 together. We got 148. We subtracted 148 for 180 because 180 makes a straight angle, is the measure of a straight angle. And we got 32. And that's your answer for letter D. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this off so we can move to, whoops. Yes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move to the next page. Go ahead and turn to the next page. And you have somewhat of the same thing here. It says on the previous page, angle FOE and angle EOD form a right angle. The sum of their measure is 90 degrees. Angle FOE measures 58 degrees and angle EOD measures 32 degrees. Two angles whose measures add up to 90 degrees are called complementary angles, and that's something that you guys should have seen before, but if you don't know, complementary angles, again, are two angles that when you add them up equals to 90 degrees, usually making that box, okay? On the previous page, angle EOA and angle AOB forms a straight line. The sum of their measure is 180, and we talked about that as well. A straight angle is 100 degrees, okay? 180 degrees, I'm sorry, okay? So it says that two angles whose measures add up to 180 degrees are called supplementary angles. Supplementary angles don't have to be adjacent. Angle M and angle N are supplementary angles. That means they don't actually have to be next to each other as long as they add up to 180 degrees or make a straight line. They are considered supplementary angles. Okay, the last one, the last type of angle is what I talked about right at the end, are vertical angles, angles that are across from each other. So these angles right here, that 32 degrees and 32 degrees, they are across from each other. That's called a vertical angle. Same thing here, this side is across from this side. They're vertical angles. And what's significant about vertical angles is that they're equal to each other. Whatever the degree is, from this angle, its vertical angle is equal to each other. Let's go ahead and read what it says on here. It says when two lines intersect, like AD and BE on the previous page, they form pairs of vertical angles. Okay, so when AD and BE intersects, it forms two pairs of vertical angles. Okay, angle AOB here, and angle EOD here, are vertical or opposite angles. They are non-adjacent angles formed by the intersecting line. Vertical angles have the same measure. Both angle AOB and EOD measures 32 degrees, which is what we saw earlier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys off with trying this problem on your own here. It says, look at the diagram on the previous page. What can you say about angle FOE and angle BOC? What can you say about angle AOB and BOC? And so what you're saying is based on what we learned here. Are they complementary angles? Are they supplementary angles? So again, complementary angles equaling 90 degrees. Supplementary angle making that straight angle and equaling 180 degrees. Or are they vertical angles? Are they across from each other and they equal one another? Okay. Good luck. Go ahead and once you're done with the reflection, go ahead and try the practice problem that corresponds with this lesson as well. Those of you guys who have math intervention in your Google Classroom page for math intervention, I will go over a few of the practice problems for this lesson as well. All right, guys, have a good day. Thank you.